Namaste, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. I am standing in for Lowland this today. Um, she is traveling, might even join using her phone or I don't know, but she wanted to. So hope she had a happy journey, but anyway, here we are. Um, so, as usual, let's start with our introductions. I would introduce myself at the end. So, we'll start with, let's say, David. How would you like to introduce yourself? Glad to have you, David. It's this morning has been a bit of a last minute, I mean, firefighting or whatever you want to call it. Had to do quite a bit of juggling um, to get it going. So it isn't ideally the way it should be, but hey, we have to have a life. So here we are. uh, okay. Fred, how would you like to introduce yourself? They didn't get elected, or they didn't get. Oh, mm. Mm. That's one of the things I see in the uh, democracies here in the Western world. Um, People don't seem to give much importance to voting itself. That is, I feel, is a problem. I mean, there are countries in the world where voting is a struggle. You can't. It's a privilege in many countries, but people, those who have it, don't seem to value it. That's one of the things. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I'm talking all this because today's topic is about chat. So we are chatting. We started chatting. So, Alana, how would you like to introduce yourselves? How are things in Ireland? Same here, Alana. Yeah, same here. Mm. Okay. So today's topic is chat, secure chat. So let me make a small presentation and then we'll have a discussion. So let me quickly go through the presentation. So, namaste. My name is Vivekanand. People call me Vivek. I believe in living a simple life. I believe in thinking differently. I am proud to share my belief with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. So, I aim to bring time-tested wisdom and happiness together into your business and life by unifying, simplifying, amplifying simple technology and tools. I achieve this by developing software solutions as necessary. So today I shall cover David. Oh, okay. Um, okay. I I don't know. So many technical difficulties. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I don't know whether I can record this. I should be able to. Yeah, I'm going to hit record, and if things go pear-shaped, then we'll at least have a recording to rely back on. So let me record to the cloud. I shall cover 3 parts today. Why chat, history of chat, and what chat systems allow us to create. These chat systems allow us to create something. We'll talk about that. So whenever you want a short message which may become part of an ongoing conversation, and mostly in a one-to-one manner, we typically can use some text messaging system. Emailing in such situations feels a bit too formal and time consuming for both the sender as well as the receiver. So chat plays a major role there in connecting people, especially when the sender and receiver are in different time zones. In the green room, we were talking about the time zones. uh, so, when the sender and the receivers are in different time zones, the text chat becomes very useful, because of the time zone differences. It becomes inconvenient for a voice call or maybe even a video call, but a text message is more convenient. So chat message reaches the receiver directly. That's the other key aspect. It typically reaches the device which is more likely to be with them all the time. That is a key factor. And the receiver reads the message whenever it is convenient for them and responds whenever it is convenient for them. Same goes for the sender. You send a message when it is convenient for you. You are not really concerned about the time zone, but you want to convey a short message. It's not covered by an email. Email feels too formal. In that case, you need a chatting system. So let's do a bit of history here. One of the early examples of a chat system is what was developed by Google Talk. They called it Talk, but it was mostly a text-based system for most of the world. They said it's available as a voice communication system in certain parts of the world, but what Google did was they used open standards like XMPP, which stands for Extensible Messaging and Presence Protocol. They used that and created a Google Talk. The reviews of this software at that time criticized it for severe lack of features like file sharing, chat log, group chat, or emoticons, of all things. But this was mainly because those days Google used to launch products in a minimum viable product state. Whatever is viable, minimum viable product. They launched the products in that state. For example, Gmail used to be in beta for years. They removed the beta tag after quite a few years. At that time, there were a few competing products. AOL Instant Messenger, also known as AIM, ICQ, Yahoo Messenger, and Windows Live Messenger. These are all few examples. Among all these, Google Talk was a lean, mean thing. Let me compare the installation file sizes, and you'll be surprised to know the size of the installation files. By today's standards, it's nothing, but those days it was quite significant. Yahoo Messenger 9.5 megabytes. Windows Live Messenger 15.3 megabytes. Whereas Google Talk was a lean, mean 1.45 megabytes. And in 2005, Google Talk found a major shortcut to a big user base when it was integrated into Gmail. Way back then, back in 2011, social media was a serious fad. Google didn't have any serious product in the social media scene. Facebook had a stated goal of signing up every human being on the planet. So, Google saw Facebook as an existential threat those days. Anyway, at present, it looks like, it pains me to say that, but at the present moment, situation in some parts of the United States are, the threat is coming true in a way. Many people believe what they read on Facebook while they don't trust Google as much. So the threat is coming true in some ways. Anyway, on June 28th, 2011, Google Plus was born. In addition to a regular Facebook-style social networking site, Google Plus was a hyper-aggressive, all-consuming social backbone that would run through most major Google services. Google connected or converted most of its services into social media services through Google Plus. The motivation for Google Plus came directly from the top. Earlier in 2011, then CEO Larry Page tied all employee bonuses to the success of Google Plus. So when your bonus is tied to a product, obviously everyone will want to work on that. Anyway, why am I talking about Google Plus? I am talking about it because along with the social media presence, Google Plus also provided a means to communicate with like-minded people across the world. I connected with Loveland through Google Plus, connected with so many other people through Google Plus. So if Google Plus was not there at all, didn't start, I would not have known Loveland at all. So there you go. So Google Plus not only gave a video platform, social platform, it also had a text-based chatting system. That's why I talk about Google Plus. Okay, till that time there was no competitor as such, but Apple launched iMessage in with their iOS 5 in October 2011 and brought iMessage to the Mac, Apple Mac, with the release of OS X 10.8. The whole of Apple is behind iMessage. But the big downside to iMessage is that it works only on Apple devices. There is no website, which is limiting compared to the usual works with everything philosophy of Google. But just like BlackBerry messaging, which is one of the things that put BlackBerry phone in the state, in the position it was, they treat it as if it's a very critical for them. Just like BlackBerry messaging, Apple views iMessage as a type of lock-in. You start using iMessage, you're locked in to that system. So once you start using that, you are supposed to buy only Apple products, use only Apple services. So it's a, they often call it as a walled garden. You are within that walled garden and that's it. The fence is very strong. You can't come out. Once you are in, you are in. That's it. Finished. So Apple sees iMessage as a strategic product, since more lock-in means more hardware sales. All of this, what I have covered so far, is stated in an article, and I'm going to paste the link in the chat. Okay. So that was all about different chatting platforms. Now comes another competitor, which is called as WhatsApp. It's I looked up at the Wikipedia entry for WhatsApp, and it says it is an American freeware, cross-platform, centralized instant messaging and voice over IP service that is, as of now, is owned by Facebook. It allows users to send messages, voice messages, text messages, and also make voice and video calls, share images, documents, user locations, and other content. But the critical part is it goes directly to somebody's cell phone. It's tied to that. So you want to reach somebody in, say, Europe, and if you have their WhatsApp number, you just dial using the voice and the call is essentially free. And more important than that, it is supposed to be secure. I'm coming to that next. So, WhatsApp became the world's most popular messaging application by 2015 and has over 2 billion, that is billion with a B, users worldwide as of February 2020. It has become the primary means of internet communication in multiple locations, including Latin America, the Indian subcontinent, which covers India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. I don't know about Afghanistan, but maybe, I don't know. And large parts of Europe and Africa. You might notice that it is not that popular in the United States. Don't know why, but it doesn't have much presence in the United States, even though it started from there. By 2012, WhatsApp had become one of the world's most popular messaging apps and was announcing explosive metrics like 10 times more messages per day than it had seen the year before. So in late 2012, the WhatsApp team, they were like looking for people to acquire. They wanted to make, I don't know, more money, whatever. So that started a bidding war between Google and Facebook. But ultimately Facebook bought it. So Google failed to buy it. Now, WhatsApp messages are encrypted end to end. This means all conversations are encrypted, and only way to get to the real content is at the expected endpoints. So let's say you are a receiver, you receive a message from someone. Between that person and you, only you two can know what the message is. Now, there is people are saying it is not secure, in the sense that if you by chance you received a message and then you complain to WhatsApp, which goes to Facebook, saying that this is a spam message or whatever, then at that point that message becomes visible to Facebook and the authorities and whatever. Up to that point, the message is end-to-end encrypted. And for this encryption, your cell phone number is the ID. Of course, the encryption and decryption uses a lot of computing power at both the sender and receiver devices. But, of course, almost all of us have a highly powerful computing device in our hands these days. So, the computing power requirements is no longer really the issue at all. So, but this creates an interesting situation where, let's say you don't want to share your cell phone number with anybody other than your friends and family or whatever. In that case, you cannot use this software. In such a situation, you can't use this software, and because your phone number will be visible to whoever you connect this to. You connect using the WhatsApp to somebody, they will know your number. So this does give a psychological appearance of being hard to fake, but then, since, as I said before, since computing power is increasing and we each of us getting our hands onto those computing power, this encryption and decryption is based on equations which are normally not solvable. You can't solve these equations using normal computing power. That's the philosophy of encrypting and decrypting. If you try to use brute force to crack the coding, you need a lot of computing power. But these days, most of us have a lot of computing power in our hands, in the phone. So that's the reason why I am putting a question mark at the end of that question there. Is it hard to fake? Maybe. Okay. With all that background, one of the key features of WhatsApp is that your conversations on your cell phone mobile device are accessible on your computer. But as an end user, you have to enable it. If you go to web.whatsapp.com, you will see a web page which is similar to the image that is shown there. And to connect your phone, it will show you a QR code from your phone. You need to go into your WhatsApp app, open it, and then scan that QR code. The instructions will be there on the website web.whatsapp.com. And this phone will be connected to, the messages that are there on the phone will be accessible through the computer. You'll be able to not only read the messages, you can also respond to the messages. So here I am showing a screenshot of what it looks like on my computer. Now I am a volunteer with the Isha Foundation, which is a volunteer-driven organization formed and led by Sadhguru. Yeah, just a minute, Laura. Just a minute.
We're not seeing your screen.
Not seeing my screen.
Yeah, so you're showing us a screenshot, but I don't think you shared your screen.
This is, you see I'm still sharing my screen, am I not?
Oh, I don't see it.
What happened?
There you go. We can see it now.
Yeah. So this is the screenshot. And just to show you this one, this is the web.whatsapp.com. So with this, you will be able to not only participate in the, you can see the messages, you can respond to them using your computer. If you have to share some stuff from your computer, you can just copy paste it into this, and it will be available to the person at the other end. So that actually brings me to the end of this presentation I made. I don't know whether because of all these things happening, I don't know whether, anyway, it did go to YouTube or not. So I have a few questions. Are you using WhatsApp? Are you part of any WhatsApp groups? Do you use WhatsApp for voice call, video call, etc.? So I'll stop sharing the screen and anybody?
Well, no, I've not used WhatsApp for anything yet. Um, I use basically Google Chat now, and people that I'm communicating with, and just started today using Discord again.
Oh.
I've had people now want to start using Discord, so now I got to learn that again. And then I'm also part of Slack, and I am with communicating through that. So I don't know anybody that's using WhatsApp. That's probably the reason why I haven't got it yet. Or anybody that wants to communicate with me, everybody's using the other formats. So
yeah, that's as that aligns with what I was saying. It's not at all popular in the United States, but
it's
more or less everywhere else it is.
well, the I go where everybody else goes. If everybody else goes to the new app, then I'll follow along. If no one goes to it, then it doesn't do me any good to go to the app and speak to nobody.
Yeah. It's also available. I mean, you are able to make voice calls as well as video calls. Like the difference, major difference is this goes directly to the phone, somebody's phone, not through the computer or anything. For example, if you used Skype or anything in those days, you needed a computer. It goes to the computer of the other person, and they have to start the computer and then connect and all that. But this one directly rings the phone.
Well, I use chat to make phone calls to Canada. It's the only. I mean, I've not made any to the U.S. because I can just use my phone. But if I go through chat and go and make a phone call to Canada, I'm not paying the international fee for talking to them on the phone, and they're not paying any fee either. Do you know if WhatsApp allows you to make phone calls like to Europe and whatnot internationally? So
Yeah, it does.
be worth looking into, because there's people that I would like to talk to on the phone in Europe, but I'm going to pay $12 a minute so I can talk to them. Sorry.
So I can address that. I use WhatsApp quite a bit. I'm on WhatsApp a lot. And I do know it's not very popular in the US because I've tried to get my friends and family on it and they are resisting. But I have one friend in Rhode Island who uses WhatsApp. I talk to her on the phone, and the phone quality, it can get garbled after a while. So I have a funny feeling that would have to do with your broadband width. But yeah, I'm also members of groups here in Ireland. There's a few groups, businesses and stuff that I'm involved with that have, I'm in their group, their WhatsApp group. So yeah, you can use it for international calling, and it's just like using Facebook Messenger calling or something like that. So yeah.
It is supposed to be secure.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what the software claims, end-to-end encrypted. And whenever I keep seeing the message saying that the key to this person's phone has changed, and when I use WhatsApp, the key keeps changing, so it looks like, I don't know.
I
Let
haven't
me.
used it for video calls because the people I talk to on video have iPhones, and so we use video calling on our iPhones. So we use video that
You
way.
mean FaceTime?
Yeah.
Mm. Fred?
Yeah, I find WhatsApp very interesting, and everything you said about it is what I've learned about it, mainly because of Agora Speakers International.
Mm.
The ambassadors who are around the world tend to use it. But as you said, I don't know of anyone in North America personally using it. I know there are people using it, but very few. It's not popular. The first time I came across it was in Australia, where my family members use it quite extensively to
Mm.
communicate with other people around
Mm-hmm.
Australia
Mm-hmm.
and internationally. Then when I got to Agora Speakers, there's a whole WhatsApp for the ambassadors. In fact, I have it on my phone here,
Mm-hmm.
and there's WhatsApp,
Mm.
and there's all sorts of things, including the ambassadors. Now, I don't use it. I watch it and I listen to it, but the challenge is my cell phone is the challenge.
Mm.
I do not have a permanent. I have no data, so you have to use Wi-Fi, which
Mm-hmm.
is fine. But I don't always have Wi-Fi,
Mm.
and my cell phone is a pay-as-you-go because I don't want. Well, prior to COVID, I travel a lot, so I'm in Australia, and then I'm in California, and my cell phone is a pay-as-you-go in Canada. So it just becomes so complex that if I don't have Wi-Fi, when I have Wi-Fi, I can use it in any country. But when I don't have Wi-Fi, it isn't. So they know, when I say they, that's Agora speakers,
Mm.
that I don't use it. I think they know that I probably snoop and see what they're talking about, but I do not. I do not use it as it because if they start sending me messages, the chances I won't get them often. So I don't
Mm.
want to rely on it. So that's my and everything you said that I know nobody uses it extensively that I know in Canada and the same in the States. It's a very interesting anomaly. The one thing I've noticed though, right now, in fact, I just opened it up now. I went and got my cell phone to look what's there. There's a whole long discussion in that group
Mm.
about certain aspects. And there's people sort of, and I'm not interested in it. It's not something that I'm really involved with.
Mm.
They're talking about, and that's sort of overwhelming. Yes, Dave.
I need to leave. Everybody have a great week. So, bye.
Okay, David.
Bye,
Yeah,
David.
we'll see you probably on Saturday. Bye. So WhatsApp is a very fascinating tool, but it doesn't, like some people get frustrated with me in Agora saying, hey, you know, you're not on there. And I, unfortunately, now it brings up another topic though. Somebody is suggesting using Telegram. I don't know if you know Telegram. I tried
It's
to log into Telegram and they created a site and I had a bit of problems with it, so I haven't gone forward with it. I downloaded it and Telegram is supposed to be maybe better or for what they want, the purpose. I have no idea. So, yes, Alana.
Fred, I think I might be able to help you out a little bit there with your communication through WhatsApp, because I use WhatsApp web because I hate texting. I just hate doing
Well,
this with my
I've done that
fingers.
too. I've done
So
that as well.
yeah,
I
so
have
I
to,
use
I have,
WhatsApp web because then I can just type
yeah,
on my keyboard and then
yeah.
it's faster.
I know, and it's the QR code and all. I've done that. But now that's another step. Like you know, I just find it inconvenient because of my situation. People who have cell phones that are powerful and with data and everything, it's fantastic. They love it because that's their device they use. I don't use this device very much.
Right.
It's something I don't rely on because of the situation. If I have, and I have I have quite a bit on this, and it's not a very powerful and a very modern cell phone either. So it doesn't have a lot of memory. So often when I'm getting WhatsApp, it starts saying, "Oh, you're running out of memory." So then I have to start clearing files because of it's because of my phone. I'm not saying it's WhatsApp problem. It's I'm not interested in spending a fortune getting data plans, getting a more expensive cell phone. This works for me for what I need it for,
Yeah.
but WhatsApp it doesn't work for. So
I was the other day I was looking at um, map where uh, mobile cell phone data is cheapest. uh, and most of Europe and Indian subcontinent and so on, it's including UK. It's either cheapest or second cheapest.
and Canada is probably the most expensive,
Canada is the expensive one.
very
USA
expensive.
is also more expensive. Data is
And
expensive.
we are much more expensive than the US. Not just a little bit, but much more expensive than the US.
And the
So
thing is about data plans in the US, like coincidentally, I just got a US SIM card for my travel at the end of next month. And the way the plan is set up, it's a SIM card with T-Mobile. And the way the data plan is set up is they give you a certain amount of data for 5G. And then once you reach that maximum, they bring you down to 3G. And so your data starts going slower. So that's how they do it in the States. And to me, that's a huge ripoff, because here in Ireland, as far as I know, they don't do that. Your data plan is your data plan. They don't switch you from one plan. They don't put you from 5G to 4G to 3G to whatever, simply because, you maxed out your data at a certain amount. Do you know what I mean? So I'm finding that a bit disappointing, but luckily I'm probably not even going to need my data that much. It's not going to matter. I'm just using it for phone calls. So it's probably not going to be that big of a deal, but I paid enough for it. I'm telling you. It's
well,
not cheap.
Facebook Messenger works very well for me because I can use it on the computer, and anybody who belongs to the groups there. So Facebook Messenger, unfortunately, because we don't like Facebook at Agora that much, but it's the best tool that I can use anyway. That's why I'm not sure about Telegram. Somebody's suggesting Telegram might be the answer for people like me, I guess. I don't know if it's also secure or not. I think it might be.
Telegram is owned again by Facebook, is it not?
I don't know. We can Google it and it'll tell us.
Like, I think those tools are only as useful as the number of people that are using them. So if you have your network is all using one particular tool, like many of my friends use WhatsApp. So it's very easy for me to use WhatsApp is pretty much my prime way of communicating, and through Facebook Messenger. So, and I hate Facebook. So I only use it for Messenger. I don't post anything anymore. I haven't posted there in months. But I only use it for Messenger to keep in touch with friends. That's it.
Yep.
So that's really it. I mean, if your tool is only going to be as useful as the number of people in your network that are using it.
Yeah, and North America is really WhatsApp. I don't know why, and
It's
because as
unusual because it's encrypted. It's very
yeah,
unusual. I would have, because Americans tend to be quite paranoid. So the fact that you have end-to-end encryption to me would mean they would feel like it's safe and secure. But the fact that it's owned by Facebook, as far as I know, maybe they don't trust it.
but it's also maybe got to do with their data plans. Maybe it's got to do.
It
That's
could be.
part of the
It could
reason.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, that they don't want to. Whereas anyway, Facebook doesn't. I can use it on my phone, and I can also when I have Wi-Fi. But I can also use it easily without having to get QR codes and oh no, I didn't. That. Yeah, I've done that, but I don't want the people in Agora who use it. I mean, they love it. Some people just don't want to do anything but WhatsApp. They think that's the only way to go.
And the thing is about WhatsApp is you can like upload pictures and take pictures with
Yes.
with that app. So it's very convenient from that point of view. So it works very well. I think it works really well.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. I mean, I follow that. I only watch. I don't post on it because then they say, oh, he's got it. And then they start sending me messages I never get.
Yeah.
And if I do, I tried a little bit. And then I don't know, I didn't get responses either. So I thought, am I missing something? So I thought, no, this is not working for me at all, even when I tried to use it on my phone. Although once I don't know what it is, why it's saying I don't have enough storage on my phone now. It's using it. Anyway.
So, that's the thing with WhatsApp. You can't really tell if someone's read your message. Whereas with Facebook Messenger, you can tell because you can see
Yes.
all the little bubbles at the bottom of who's in your group that has seen the message. So you know who has seen it. WhatsApp doesn't have that. So you're right.
WhatsApp has that double tick.
That's true. They have the sent and receive. Yeah, that is true. But if you're sending it to a group, if you're in a group
is a different thing. Yes.
I mean, that's I think where Fred is going there. He's in the Agora group and he won't know who's seen his message and who hasn't. I'm in a few WhatsApp groups, and that is an issue where you post something and yes, it's been sent, it's been received, but you don't know who looked at it.
Yeah, so with the WhatsApp groups, that's what happens typically. If it is a group, if everyone in that group has seen that message, then you'll get the double green ticks. If everyone in that group has read it, if at least one of them has not read it, then you won't get the.
But still, you won't know.
But if it is a one-to-one message, you do get immediate acknowledgement. So, first, it puts gray ticks to indicate message has been sent, and the ticks turn green once the person has read it. So, yeah, but that's
where are the ticks on there? I'm looking at the message.
It's in the lower right corner of the message. So the one gray tick means it's been sent. Two gray ticks.
Not in the messages I'm looking at in this group.
Are you in WhatsApp?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm in the Agora. And there's lots of messages. So I don't know.
If you're in WhatsApp and you're in the chats.
Let me go to. I have some. I think one fellow sent me. These are the phone numbers. So this is it.
Yeah, so the one tick means that it's been sent. Two tick means it's been received, but they have to be, they're gray. And then they turn blue when they've been read. So if you're not seeing that, then maybe that means that whatever message.
Oh, there's one I see. Yeah.
Okay.
There's one with the two. I see that one, and this is March 2021. I mean, I sent it to him. It took a long time for him to respond. And I thought, wow.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd try it for him. He's the fellow in Indonesia, and there's two ticks there. It's actually on the left, just before.
Okay, so mine are on the bottom right.
No. When I don't open it, it's on the left, just at the beginning of the meeting. Now that I open it, it's on the bottom right. You're quite right. Yes.
And is it blue or gray?
Blue ticks, two
Okay,
blue
so if it's
ticks.
blue ticks, that means it's been red.
Yes. Okay. So that was in March, and I mean that shows you how long ago I tried this. And I thought, no, this is not working. Okay, so I'm learning something. This is a great conversation for me. Because I came across I guess it's fans. These people are fanatical about it in some cases. They love it. They share jokes on it. They do. This is in Australia where I first came across it, because I never heard about it at all in Canada until I was in Australia. And now Agora, wow, particularly the people in Latin America, all the places you mentioned, actually. You mentioned
Well,
Latin America, you mentioned India, you mentioned all of those places that you mentioned. That's where this is so popular in Agora.
a few years ago, my daughter went to Rhode Island for the summer, and we were kind of in a panic, like, how are we going to stay in communication with her? Because we had Android phones. She had an iPhone. So we're thinking, how are we going to communicate? So WhatsApp was our answer. And we created a group chat between the three of us so we could all get in, like, she could share all her pictures one time and both of us would see them. And we could respond in kind. So that worked out really well for us. It's been a long WhatsApp journey since.
So my question is Telegram. Do you know anything about Telegram?
I have not heard or used Telegram.
Yeah, it's supposed to be secure too, I think. But I downloaded it, tried it, and then it didn't want to work on my computer. So I sent a message, and I never got an answer back saying, "Hey, what am I doing wrong?" or something. And so I don't know.
See, the thing too is, Fred, every time you download an app, you've got to have a username and password unless you sign in with your Google account or Facebook account. So that's another reason I try to stay only within what I absolutely need, because otherwise you're adding more and more usernames and passwords. And, I've probably got thousands in my LastPass. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Don't tell me.
It's awful. I don't even want to try.
Track of.
Yeah, I don't even want to go in there and try to organize it, because I think I'll have a meltdown if I have to do that.
I agree with you, Alana. I relate to that totally. So this is a very interesting conversation. I find you started talking about WhatsApp. I thought, well, I've had experience with it, but because I'm in North America, it's not popular.
Seems
it's not
to be
something.
It's very weird, actually.
Divide Atlantic Sea, maybe, I don't know.
And yet you said it was created here too. It was a North American product.
Like, everybody on this side of the pond loves it.
Oh yeah, the lady in England really gets upset with me because she says, but he doesn't respond. I can see her. She has a short. She's in England, but she's from Holland. I don't know if that's got any relationship, but she has a short fuse. She.
Okay.
Anyway, she's a wonderful lady, but WhatsApp fanatic. I mean, just thinks everything is just. And there are people who sort of refuse to say, well, what's wrong with using WhatsApp? Well, not everybody uses it. But they should, Okay, thanks for telling us that.
Okay, I'm looking at the clock, we have hit an hour mark already, so maybe most of it was my presentation, but
well, it's a great topic. I enjoyed it because it's sort of you confirmed a lot of what I knew about it. You've just that presentation was telling me, yeah, that's exactly my experience with WhatsApp. And of course, the interesting thing about Google messaging, the history, it's still a mess. 16 years after the launch of Google Talk, Google messaging is still a mess. That's what the article that you said.
Yeah.
So there's no one yet has solved the issues. There are some challenges even with WhatsApp, because in the group, some of these, the discussions just go on and on and on, trying to sort things out. It's not working that well. That's why they were relating to Telegram, saying, I think you can have sort of, I don't know what you can have. Anyway, they think it might work better.
That's probably a topic for another day.
It is.
It's probably something we can talk about, because I don't think any of us know anything about it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Anyway, next week we'll have a discussion. I mean, next week David is going to host, as this week I hosted in the absence of Lowland. So next week David is going to host, and he's going to talk about image sizes again, because somebody moved cheese. That's what he said. Okay, so I'm going to hit the outro and conclude this meeting. So until next Tuesday, see you.
Bye, everyone.